Welcome back to No Man's Sky.
Did I throw you because I predicted the end of the episode before you saw it?
Yeah, it was a bit odd.
Well, I just saw the time.
You were like 2 minutes off, but oh well.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna stop you. I was just letting you do your thing.
Oh, cool, man.
I think the funniest
is that Iridium right there?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So.
Cool.
Found it.
Bye.
I think the funniest. Oh, I'm very full. God damn it. I think the funniest sort of quote, or sort of discussion I've seen around this game was it was at it's like a tabletop discussion with E3 when they were talking about the game. And I think it was with GameSpot when they were still a thing. Not GameSpot, Game Trailers. Rip in peace.
What happened to them?
They got shut down.
Why?
Because games media.
What?
Because games media is not profitable anymore.
Oh yeah,
in the slightest.
Because video games don't make money.
Yeah, because video games.
Yeah.
And they were, I forget who it was one of the hosts, and he was just he was like, I get the whole quintillion planets thing. I understand that's cool and whatever, but I just what do you do in this game? What's the hook? What's the reason to play it? They keep going on about this thing about how you can play it however you want, but I want to be told how to play this game. And I think he was arguing with this other guy who was pro, I guess, quote-unquote, pro No Man's Sky, at least at the time. And he was like, no, you can just, it's just a free open world, you can just do whatever you want. There's infinite possibilities. And he's just like, there is not infinite possibilities. The things they have shown us are running around, occasionally shooting things, and collecting things. That's 4 things. That is a lot less than infinite things. I think that was the best way.
Yeah,
now that we've played it, it's just there's about 20 possibilities.
Dude, what is that? Is that the space station?
That's the space station.
Okay. I mean, I'm doing a video on it at the moment for the other channel, but
shoutouts to the
antagonist. Yeah, the problem with the game the reason Minecraft works is the fiction aligns with the gameplay, right? So they build a system and they're here are the tools that you can use in this system to do shit, right? They're here's a handful of things you can do within our system. And
Minecraft is the best example of a systems-based game done right. Even from a programming perspective, you can, if you look at how if you can look at they've released videos of sort of you can make visualizations of
Oh fuck, I'm gonna get attacked. I gotta get inside. Sorry.
You can make visualizations of sort of source control repositories, which is just how everyone makes software. And it sort of just shows it's a weird map or a web of file,s and it'll show little icons representing people, and they blip files, which means they've edited those files or created them.
Yeah.
And they released a visualization of 6 years of Minecraft development.
Yeah.
From pre-out, literally creation through to whenever they created the video. And it's that's such a, watching that, you're just yeah, I can see how they got they did what they were able to do with Minecraft, because it's so modular. Because you'll see them just create, excuse me, you'll see them blip the core of the game, and they're it'll label some sections to be this is the multiplayer, this is the world generation, whatever. And it'll blip those all out for a bit and then just leave them.
Yeah.
And then it'll go and blip all these other things. And it's that's such a good way of making a game like that, because then yeah, your game is big, open, and empty, but it means you can just fill it with stuff. Well, and I feel this
the
game
fundamentals work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel this game, they had the big open nothing, because let's be honest, that's kind of what the game is a little bit like. But then they were well, we need to put systems on top of it, so they're okay, trading in a sense, let's sell and collect items. But then they just kind of stopped there.
Yeah, well,
they're you can name planets, and the planets get shared with everyone, but also the planet names get deleted after a week, which is kind of scummy.
What did I just do?
It's in your exosuit.
I need to make the warp cell.
You make the warp cell.
My brain was which bit are you up to?
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so they...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, dude, warp cells do shit. It gives you
so much.
Wall.
Alright, I'm gonna get some iron so I can fix my gun.
Good idea.
My mining gun. Right.
I mean...
Sorry, continue.
Because we don't really know what...
Iron.
What the game is structured at the code level. so we don't really know how easy it is for them to just plop things in. I
Yeah,
reckon,
but
like,
if you build a game right, there should be correct me
yeah,
if I'm
if you
wrong.
build a game right, you
modulate.
you make it really modular.
You modulate
so you can
so you can iterate.
Yeah.
That's why Minecraft can keep adding stuff.
yeah, but
Like,
until we sort of get like DLC or the first content update, that'll probably shed light on how they're doing things.
okay.
Like if they release DLC and it does certain if the DLC is done in a certain way where like
look at how cool this shit
that's pretty cool shit.
That's really cool.
Where like things like DLC is like reasonably modular and it's not just like, oh, this DLC, like, you know, it adds these missions but also changes every mechanic in the game. If that happens, then you know that the game's not exactly modular. Because
Wait, say that again, sorry?
If they release DLC and it's like,
We can't afford it. This is the coolest ship ever.
oh, it's so
It's
close.
got so much space.
It's just gonna fly off forever. I mean, you could probably just stay here for a while and it would come back.
That
if
makes
you
me
had
so
enough money.
sad. Look at how cool and red. Also, red makes it go faster.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Continue.
So, like, if they release DLC and it's the kind of thing where... So if the DLC comes out and it's like... the patch or whatever, the content update, and it just, you know, if it's just a case where it's just like, oh, we added this extra mission type to that randomly spawns on planets, and we added, you know, a bunch of different trees and a bunch of different, like, a bunch more just things, and they just sort of populate the entire world, then that's a pretty good sign, because it means that they're able to just sort of hop in and just
Keep adding.
just go boop, 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 boop,
Yeah,
boop,
well,
boop,
they
boop,
can iterate
just
on what they
every
have,
now and then.
and that means that they can iterate to add the things that they talked about having, right?
But if it's the kind of thing where they sort of create content patches and a lot of the changes are like, oh, we redid this entire system, or redoing entire systems isn't a bad thing, but if it's like out of nowhere they're like, we've changed the entire game, you're like, wow, you really programmed it badly if that's the case.
Well, yeah, because you need to change the base.
if you need to change everything just to add more things, that's a bit of an issue. Like,
that is interesting.
you see it a lot with like one of the
Goodbye forever, dream ship.
like one of the games that I've sort of seen that happen with was this RTS called Grey Goo,
I'm
where
gonna go to you.
it was sort of poised to be like the resurgence of RTS games. They were like, this is going to be the new big RTS.
What am I discovering? Oh, is it the moon?
It might.
What am
be.
I looking at? I keep.
Oh, it's a big old block of things. What the fuck?
It's just, is that a? What is this?
What the fuck is that? It's just like a big ass asteroid.
Is it a? I don't know. It might be. It looks like it.
It's okay.
Cool.
Nickel.
I've never seen nickel before.
No, that's interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
Cool, just fly on through. And keep your arms inside. Oh, that's really disorientating.
That makes me want to barf. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a new planet there, maybe.
I think it was, if you look up
Because I've got
to
that
the right.
one. I've got that one.
It was kind of like over there somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Am I losing my mind? You saw that too, right?
Yeah, no, I saw that as well.
Okay, cool.
Maybe it was like behind that planet.
I think it might be.
Yeah, because there's no moons in this game.
Hmm.
Which is unfortunate.
Weird.
But yeah, like
Anyway.
when we had Grey Goo come out, they released like a like the multiplayer beta. They were like, oh, for like feedback and stuff. And then like the game was, and everyone was just like, oh, like you should, here's a bunch of things that you could change because it would probably make the game better. And they were like, all right, they'd done a bunch of things. They're like, all right, we're gonna get rid of the beta because we're gonna all right, we're closing down the early beta, and we're going back into development. And everyone was just like, all right, cool, they're gonna sort of change things around.
I'm guessing they didn't.
Dude, like fucking nothing changed. Like the game came out and it was basically the same, but like a few things were different. But again, it was the kind of thing where like they were these big sweeping changes that meant absolutely nothing for the game.
Yeah.
Like from the player's perspective. So it was the kind of thing where it's just like, you guys didn't exactly make this entirely modular. Like we were being very like the criticisms most people gave the game were like, you guys need to have this kind of unit to deal with this. Like you should add these kinds of like you should not really change things, but like just plop things in here and there that will take the game from like what it is now to actually being really good. They're like, all right, thanks for the feedback, we're gonna take none of it on board. So yeah, long story short, make video games modular so you can fix them later, because games are never good when they come out. Anytime next time on this stuff.